The Nintendo Switch is absolutely killing it right now in the video game market, and I think it's in Nintendo's best interest to take advantage of this console's sales, not just for major game franchises, but for the smaller ones as well, because this is the perfect console for the smaller franchises to get their bigger looks to bigger audiences, meaning that there are lots of franchises that still aren't on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch might be full of the big hitters and even ports and remakes of very famous and popular past games, but in my opinion it's still missing some big hitters that would be really surprising to see once again in 2023. So today I have a list of 14 games that I feel like Nintendo definitely should try to bring back in one way or another. Before we get started, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo and to help us reach 200,000 subscribers. We are super duper close, so stop whatever you're doing, drop whatever you're doing, pick up that phone, hit that mouse button. I don't know what you're watching this on, just hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. Now, where in the world is Wario at? We do have Get It Together on Switch, which is a micro game, but it is still Wario, I guess you could say, but I would love to see him come back for his adventure games, such as the Wario Land series. The last game we got in the Wario Land franchise, or really any adventure Wario game, was Wario Land Shake It on the Wii, and I thought it was actually a really good 2D platformer, and we never saw it again, so maybe there's a chance we could get a port or a remake or a remaster, who knows. I mean, maybe even a 3D Wario could be in the cards with Wario World from the GameCube. It was so wacky and weird, it was great, because that's what Wario is, and that's what Wario needs to be. Just wacky and stupid, because that's all that character ever was. Where is Star Fox? This one is just a crazy one, because Star Fox is kind of in my eyes seen as a franchise that should always be on like every Nintendo console. I mean, even since it's not doing that great right now, I would love to see it all the time because I think it has potential. It's one of Nintendo's franchises that I feel like has the most potential, but Nintendo just doesn't hit it. Like, you know what I mean? And I think the Switch is a perfect place to finally go wild with this franchise. Like, do something crazy, but stay within the confines of Star Fox. Make sure that I'm still flying the plane. Star Fox Adventures, yeah, I'm talking to you. For a while, I thought Nintendo was going to take the, well, Nintendo route and kind of just bring Star Fox Zero over from the Wii U to the Switch, because let's face it, it was never going to stand a chance on the Wii U of consoles. But yeah, I think even the dev team wanted to do that, wanted to see this game return on the Switch, and it just never happened. So, I mean, I actually don't want that to happen anyways. I wanted them to just kind of make a full-fledged $60 worth Star Fox game with a huge story and an adventure to explore, and something that's going to make me want to always return. Drop the Star Fox 64 story and give me something different. I don't know why we're still fighting Andross on these same planets and the same paths that we've taken for the last 20-30 years, you know, but I feel like Star Fox is going to return. I don't think it's one of those franchises that is just dormant and dead. It is going to return in some grand fashion. Just wait on it. Watch. Mark my words. Earthbound, never going to happen. No, I'm just kidding. Earthbound is a weird one. I just don't get the world of gaming, because to me it's just mind-blowing that Nintendo can't try to make another Earthbound or Mother game. I don't get it. Is there like a property thing where they can't use this character in a game? Like, am I missing something? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm just finding it extremely difficult to believe that Nintendo can't make another Earthbound game. Now, I never really played Earthbound, but I recognize the love for this series, and I recognize how many people really want to see this game appear on a modern console. So yeah, you can technically play it on like Switch online, but it's the older games. Like, why is there still not a new game in this franchise? This might actually be one of the few franchises I would say is kind of dormant and dead right now. I would love to see it in kind of that chibi art style of Link's Awakening on the Switch. I thought that was a really good art style for like an RPG as well, and I think, you know, Ness and his friends would look really good. I don't know why Nintendo doesn't want to, you know, do something that people have been asking for since the dawn of Nintendo Directs. I mean, I remember seeing people ask for this since I was a little boy. What's going on with the franchise? I'm not sure, but maybe one day we'll see something. I just don't think it's happening anytime soon. It is a serious crime that this game is even appearing on this list today. It hurts me to talk about this game because there's no way we are 6 years into the Nintendo Switch, and the only Donkey Kong game that we have is a port of Tropical Freeze that literally adds nothing but an easy Funky Kong mode. There needs to be a new Donkey Kong on the Switch, and yes, I'm including this game because no, a port of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze does not count. Because that game, yes, as it is amazing, it is definitely time for the next new Donkey Kong. Now, I know a lot of people want to see a 3D Donkey Kong, and there are rumors that the Odyssey team was working on a 3D Donkey Kong, and there's also rumors that it could be a 2D game. At least this game's getting rumored, and you know what? It's a matter of time until we see Donkey Kong, so I'm not too worried, and in fact, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see it within the next 2 years from Nintendo, and I think it's going to be a pretty good experience. The Donkey Kong games seem to be justifiably really good. I mean, like, extremely good, and to the fact where we can almost expect a really high quality caliber game, but I'm just ready to finally see this thing because it has been a very long time since we've had some original Donkey Kong content. Mario and Luigi, once again, another franchise that kind of hurts me, is kind of in a sad situation right now. Alpha Dream went bankrupt, and we know the tragedy that unfolded afterwards because it doesn't seem like we're getting any other Mario and Luigi game possibly ever, which, yeah, it kind of hurts. But there still is a chance that maybe Nintendo bought out Alpha Dream. We don't know whatever happened to the company, if it just completely disappeared. Or there's a chance that Nintendo could have gave the IP to another studio. I hate when they do that because it just always loses the feel that the game originally had. But there's a chance, especially now that it'll probably be launched on obviously the new console, which is the Nintendo Switch, which is going to be the first time I think ever that Mario and Luigi has been on a home console, which I would love to see, and I thought that we would finally see it, and they went bankrupt at the absolute worst time because that was right when the Switch was kicking into gear. So I don't know if we'll ever see a home console Mario and Luigi game, but it's something that I am definitely hoping for forever. Out of every single game on this list today, this is the one I'm holding out for the most. Kid Icarus Uprising is a masterpiece of a game for the Nintendo 3DS, and a lot of people probably still have no clue what this character is even about, just that Pit is in Smash Brothers, and then so is Palutena in Dark Pit. But I need to see this game on Switch. There is a big rumor that Bandai Namco is working on a Nintendo adventure game remake right now, and a lot of people are saying that it has to be Kid Icarus Uprising. It doesn't have to be, but it has to be. You know what I'm talking about? I need to see this game again. And honestly, as much as I would love a brand new game in this franchise, I just think it's best to bring Kid Icarus Uprising right now in HD and throw it on the Switch. There's already tons of freaking content in that game. Have that online multiplayer as well, and then boom, the series is back in action, and then people get to experience this amazing game on a home console, and for a lot of people the first time, please play this game if it ever comes out. It is amazing. It will not let you down. It is packed full of content. Sakurai put his absolute foot into this game. This game is amazing. I need to see it again. The fact that we ever got Punch-Out on the Wii is kind of still like a fever dream to me because I never imagined actually getting this game. But you know what? What's the odds of us getting another Punch-Out on the Switch? Probably not likely. Probably not anytime soon on any console, but I would love to have a game where you get to like live Little Mac's world, you get to go to training with Doc Lewis, and you get to go into the gym and just kind of do jump ropes, lift weights and stuff, and you can even like walk around a little hub world city and get food and stuff in order to prepare for his fight, and then obviously get into the ring and just make it feel like very cinematic, have him walk through the tunnel and, you know, see his opponent just waiting for him and stuff. That would be really cool, and just make the world of Punch-Out even bigger and more grander than we've ever seen it before. I think people would love that. But the odds of us getting another Punch-Out game anytime soon is absolutely not going to happen. But you know what? We can dream, guys. Now, if you really want to talk about dead franchises, welcome to FZero. Captain Falcon has become a Smash Brothers character and a cameo in other games, and that's literally it. We see FZero referenced in stuff like Nintendo Land, Smash Brothers, and yes, even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 2 tracks, even though Captain Falcon isn't in that game for some reason. But there's no FZero game. Nowhere in sight. There's definitely spiritual successors made by other companies and indie studios, but nothing quite on the scale of FZero. The last time we got a game from this franchise was F-Zero GX on the GameCube, so I think it's safe to say that there's nothing coming anytime soon. There actually has been rumors in the last couple of years of potentially an F-Zero game coming, and nothing ever came to light, and it just doesn't feel like it's ever going to happen because I will admit, it does seem like it's going to get absolutely not that many eyes because of Mario Kart, and a lot of people aren't going to give it a try, and they definitely should, but they probably won't, and maybe Nintendo knows that, but why not give it a shot? It's not going to hurt to produce one game and see how well it sells, especially on a really well-selling Switch. I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know really anything about Golden Sun. All I know is that people really wanted Isaac in Smash Brothers for so long, and he was an assist trophy for a long time. I also know it's an adventure RPG style of game, and I know people really wanted Isaac in Smash, so that might translate to people really wanting a new Golden Sun. We do have Golden Sun on the Switch now, on the Switch Online Virtual Console games, but yeah, I think a lot of people would love to see a new game in this franchise instead of just only seeing Fire Emblem and Xenoblade represent the RPGs. I think I would love to see, you know, what this game is about on a modern console, and maybe I would even give it a try and see what's going on. But I think we just have a couple of Game Boy games and a DS one, so I would love to see one on a modern console, like a home console, and maybe I could see, you know, what this game is about a little bit more and maybe want to dive into it. One of my first DS games of all time was Rhythm Heaven. Rhythm Heaven is the epitome of what I love about a video game, because I love video game music more than the average person, I promise you. So to have a game based on music and gameplay tied together was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and the last time we actually seen this game was on the 3DS with Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix, so in my eyes, it kind of still is alive. I think there is a very good chance we could see another Rhythm Heaven, especially on the Nintendo Switch, because we kind of need to. We had Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii, so maybe there's a shot we could see one on the Switch, even though it skipped the Wii U days. But this game is a lot of fun. If you guys want to play something while you wait though, I just found this game called Melatonin on the Switch, and it's literally a Rhythm Heaven game. It's full of like 20 different rhythm games, and it's only like 15 bucks right now in the eShop. A lot of people don't know about it. I actually would have never known about this game if I didn't see a random person playing it on TikTok. I don't know how that happened. It was like a TikTok live of someone playing this game, but yes, I already played through the entire game and perfected every single mini game, and it is literally Rhythm Heaven to the core, so definitely feel free to check it out. No, this isn't sponsored or anything. This game is just amazing. I might even make a separate video on this game. Believe it or not, Chibi Robo was one of my first games I played on the GameCube. And I don't know why I had all these like awkward, weird games instead of like the big Marios and Zeldas back then, but I always played like some of these smaller franchises that you just don't hear about now. But Chibi Robo is like extremely freaking expensive right now, so I can't relive my childhood because I ended up trading it for another game when I was a kid. Gosh, I wish I could go back in time. But this game was so much fun. You got to go around like this giant house and garden outside and kind of take out some bad guys and also collect stuff and clean stuff up for the family each day. And I just loved this. Even had like the little Mario Sunshine life bar. I guess Chibi Robo just went downhill from there because whenever Nintendo wants to use an old franchise, instead of, you know, putting all their assets into making a really unique game, they say 2D platformer. And I guess everybody hated this game. I never played it. My little brother did, and he even didn't have that much fun, so I don't know if I even want to check it out. But yeah, that's the last game we got from Chibi Robo, and that was on a 3DS. So please, Nintendo, give us a proper Chibi Robo game in 3D. Let us explore another house, or just give us the old game on GameCube back again, so that way I don't have to, you know, spend a whole entire loan on this freaking game. Nintendogs was like a phenomenon when I was a child. I remember everybody having their own copy of Nintendogs, and I was just like, why do you want to play a game where you just take care of dogs? But I completely get it. Like, it's a cute little game where you actually get to take care of your puppy, and I actually played a little bit of my friends, and it was kind of fun. You could like throw the frisbee and take care of them and groom them, feed them. So like I definitely see there being an audience for that, and for the Nintendo Switch, I think that'd be a good idea because it is portable as well. So I can see a lot of people just taking it everywhere they go and taking care of their pets, and kids still absolutely loving this thing. So yeah, Nintendogs, Nintencats, Nintenpups, whatever they want to do now, they should definitely do it again on the Switch. Maybe it's just a smaller eShop title, or maybe even on mobile. I don't know what mobile's doing right now, so I don't know. But I could definitely see it happening maybe eventually in the future. So for some reason, Nintendo decided to make this like Excite series with trucks and also bots. So we have Excite bots. I don't know where this ever came from, but Nintendo, I felt like, should have just stuck with Excite Bike and just had a game like this, but with bicycles and stuff would have been really cool. This game was not terrible. I actually had Excite Trucks when I was a kid. It was, once again, one of the first Wii games I had. I don't know why, but I remember I used to play the heck out of it, so I can't really tell you how good this game was, but I remember it controlling really well and feeling really good as far as a racing game goes, and had some really cool environments. But for some reason in my head, I just cannot picture Nintendo doing another Excite Bike because, you know, racing games just seem to not work for Nintendo because Mario Kart's such a high seller. They just want to focus on Mario Kart, and I completely get that, but I would love to see maybe Excite Bike return in a new, unique way, but actually with Excite Bikes, not trucks or bots. And last but not least, this is going to shock a lot of people. Ice Climbers. Why in the world am I choosing Ice Climbers to come back out of all the old games? Because Ice Climbers has the most potential, and let me tell you why. I don't think Nintendo needs to just bring back these classic games the way that they were played back then. They need to reinvent them, because I think Ice Climbers is a brilliant idea. Imagine a 3D adventure game where you play as both Popo and Nana, or maybe switch between the two, or use both of them in tandem in order to get to the top of a giant mountain. And maybe the entire game is based on that one snow mountain because, I don't know, maybe they come from a village and there's some type of legend of a creature up there that they have to take down, but they have to get to the top of the mountain in order to do so. And what if the worlds were based off of different segments of that mountain? So World 1 was the base of the mountain, and then you make it all the way up to World 2, which is the second part of the mountain, and then World 6 or 7 is at the very tip of the mountain and stuff. I would love that, and the whole game is about scaling this mountain, and it's a 3D platformer adventure game. It would be really, really cool. You get to use the hammers in order to fight polar bears and stuff, and making your way up, and climbing techniques in order to throw Nana up to the top. I cannot believe no one else has thought about this. I think this would be literally an amazing 3D adventure game. And I actually want to make a whole video about this, so I'm not going to go, in more depth, but this would be awesome. Please, Nintendo, just consider it. If anyone out there is listening, a 3D Ice Climbers game would sell really well because it would do really well. I promise you that. Those are the 14 games I think needs to return to the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is full of really, really good games and games from my past, but it's also missing some very big and unique and niche franchises altogether, and I would really just love to see some of these franchises make a return. I mean, watching some of the gameplay of these older games is really just filling me with nostalgia, and I think that's what the Nintendo Switch is really good at right now, is fueling that nostalgia and bringing games over from the Wii U and the Wii era, which I love, but let's go a little deeper. Let's go back to the GameCube era as well, but who knows what Nintendo is going to do in the future. But let me know in the comments down below if there's any other game franchise or series that you would like to see return on the Switch, and let me know what you think about some of these games that I mentioned today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to help us reach 200,000 subscribers. We are super close thanks to you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.